heretic. Have you ever been called a heretic before? Well, you might not even know what the word means. It's kind of like a religious slam, a certain kind of, almost you'd think a swear word of sorts. But what it means is basically somebody who is deviated, who has left the true faith and now believes something that isn't quite right. They still believe in Jesus, but they got something wrong or focused on something different. I want to speak a little bit more about this in a religious context, but first I thought it would be good just to speak about just kind of how it might be helpful to think about this word in the current situation that we're in, especially with all the politics and all the divisions that just seem to be happening in our society, and it seems like everybody's in a different camp, and it's so quick to completely, characterize this person as this or that. So what is the word actually, where does it come from? The word heretic or heresy comes from the word that actually means like to choose or to select, to be fixated on something. So in a sense, that's kind of the reality of what heresy is. In the religious sphere, it does mean the sense of focusing in on one thing and nothing else. An example would be, it's not the greatest example, but it would somewhat be an example, would be Seventh-day Adventists. They're like, if they talk to you, they'll talk about different things, and they'll always usually come back to the sense of, we should worship the Lord on the Sabbath day because the Bible tells us so. And that's Saturday. So they focus in on that one thing and make that everything for themselves kind of thing. So anyway, how does this relate to kind of our current situation? Well, I think many times we do that. We focus on one thing, and in a sense we lose sight of everything else, and then no longer look at people, maybe even judge people, all in the context of this one thing that's really important to us. And we might be right or might be wrong on it, but that singularness, losing the broad spectrum of different qualities, different aspects of a person. When we do that, whether it's race, gender, whatever it might be, obviously we just kind of get in trouble. And so to have a certain balance in how we do this, I think would be very helpful, because the Lord really does desire unity in our midst. And when we focus on one thing and forget everything else, there's kind of a certain heresy that takes place, a certain focusing in, and we lose sight of the true faith. In fact, back to the religious sense of the term, Catholic actually means universal. So there's a lot of different kind of thoughts and ideas people can come, but there's one true faith, and there's certain things, of course, that we can never deviate from. Good examples of that would be, abortion or whatever. These are just evil things. But there's other prudential things, meaning that that we could have different opinions on, and to not kind of classify those as we have to be this or we have to be that. We can have our opinion and try to convince other people of it, but not to disparage and to push aside others, or just be locked up in kind of that one position. So anyway, it's just something to think about. In terms of other terms that are a little bit similar to heresy or heretic, we could think about apostasy. Apostasy is a word that means where we actually completely leave the faith, even abandon it altogether, or join another non-Christian faith that doesn't even believe in Christ anymore. That's called apostasy. Heresy is just one aspect of it. Apostasy is completely leaving it. And another word we'll throw in there is schism. That means when we hold to the same beliefs and the same practices, but we separate ourselves out from unity with the body. So, we say, okay, there's this group of people, maybe even this diocese or whatever, that says, okay, we're going to do our own thing. And when they do that, that's what's called being schismatic or being in schism. So anyway, interesting terms that many of you probably heard of, and others probably haven't heard of at all. And nonetheless, have a beautiful, blessed day.